shake your booties for black girl nerds.
Brian, this is such a beautiful tale. And when I thought of this Irish setting, I thought of symbology you see of Ireland with the interwoven
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
rings and the symbols. And that's kind of how this story is. All these interwoven people inexplicably come together and form a strong unit and a strong bond.
Yeah.
The Irish element is just so beautiful with the storytelling. What is the happy medium for keeping the culture alive and moving the story forward?
Yeah, that's always the trick. I guess, like you talk about weaving, and the interlock symbols. I think you're just always looking for ways as a writer to incorporate it, or even when you're on set to just weave it in so that it doesn't never slows down the story. We're not taking a side trip to go learn some fact about Ireland, but that is all interwoven in. So I guess that's always the goal and what you're trying to do, so that it feels really organic.
Mm-hmm. The bond between Finley and Beckett, and not just them, everyone who they touch in their different ways, it seems organic, and they have some very different approaches to completing this journey that has brought them to Ireland. Did you guys have a mantra or something you did every day as you began working to just kind of set the tone of what you wanted to accomplish for that day?
Not really. I was just looking at the weather to see if when it was going to rain. No, I guess we didn't do anything very formally like that, but we did do a lot of preparation beforehand. And that really paid off. I mean, Jed and Rose really put in a lot of time beforehand, and sometimes in the busyness of film production, that you really lean on that. And it's a big encouragement to all young actors to really put in the time before, so that then you're able to really be and give authentic performances, because you're so well practiced.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There are a lot of different journeys taking place here, journeys of healing, journeys of self-discovery, of loss and mourning. How do you, as the director, the writer, kind of prioritize the combining of all these elements, like starting from the writing stage? What was the base, the jump off point for you?
Yeah, I think, well, really, I guess the jumping off point was this young woman who's trying to really, that she's a bit caged up and a bit not expressing herself. So you're figuring out how to do that. And then in the same way, you have this movie star who's also not able to live the life that he wants to live. And so that's the jumping off point for me, is these two people that need to find themselves, and to learn to be true to themselves, and to stand up eventually for who they are and who they want to be, and discover that. So, and then everything else circles around that and contributes to that. And everyone else in the story, you're trying to weave in how they're going to help each other and help each other discover that, and then also the problems that they face. So yeah, it becomes a giant puzzle that you're trying to put together.
And lastly, one of my favorite scenes is when we're going on set with Beckett and he's filming, and we're watching a film being filmed, and you can kind of see the difference between the two. Do you just pull out all the crew that's already working? Okay, everyone's in this scene, everyone go. Or do you have to go get more people for something like that?
Oh, well, I guess we did have to get some, but no, there are definitely some crew members that are doing their jobs, or different jobs. They had fun switching around and playing different. Oh, I'm going to do this one, and so they had fun switching around. But they're a little bit of both. But we did have to have a lot of people on set that day.
That's awesome.
To make it feel like a big budget movie.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Brian. This is a really beautiful film. I cried a lot. It was terrific. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you liked it. And you have certainly of all the people interviewing you, you have the most interesting name.
Oh, thank you. Nerds. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This could have been in New Orleans too, because Fiddle's down there too. But
that's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Jedidiah, I really, really liked you. I really like your character. And what it made me think of is the friend that always has the good advice, but they're not always good at taking their own advice. Is that a fair assessment? Because he's so tapped in with his emotions as a performer, but not necessarily in real life and expressing it what he needs. Is that a fair comparison?
Yandra, I feel attacked. No, I'm kidding. Of course.
You feel seen?
And I feel the same in real life as well. Because I think he's very good at putting up his guards. Like his guards are his comedy, like being funny, his charm. I don't know if I have any of that, but I can relate to that aspect of wanting everyone else to have a good time around you, and maybe somewhere deep down inside you there's something unsettling, so you don't want to let that out because you don't want anyone else to be bothered by it, type of thing. So I can definitely relate to that aspect of the character, and yeah.
It's people, when people are creative or artistic or exceptional in any way, whether it's sports, entertainment, acting, etc., there is that sort of disconnect because they're so focused on their art, and it's hard for people like that to form attachments, they say, to other people. As a performer, is that true? Would you say that's true? Do you find that it's difficult to come across a certain way because people see you as an actor?
I don't know. I don't know how other people see me. I'm not other people. I don't know. I don't think too much about that stuff. But I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time answering your question. I'm bamboozled by it.
I'm sorry. Because what intrigued me about Beckett is you never get to see an actor play an actor a lot of times in a film. And it's a very different set of emotions because you want us to know it's the actor acting in the piece.
Yeah, so I was very lucky that Brian Baugh, our director, was very good to be there to remind us that the film within the film has to have a different tone of acting than our film. So it's noticeable, and you can tell that it's a film within the film, type of thing. And you don't want to confuse the two characters. And so it was really it was fun. It was very fun to do that film within the film because you just had to turn that. It's almost like elevating reality. You know what I mean? This is it within the film within the film. Dragons exist, magic exists, stuff like that. So it's okay for your characters to deliver the line and a little bit more of be a little extra,
Turn the melodrama on a little bit. That was pretty cool.
Drama. Yeah. So
ultimately, Beckett is on a journey of self-discovery of his own that he may not realize he's on until he meets Finley, but ultimately he's on this journey. What would you call the trajectory of his journey from beginning to end?
A roller coaster. It would be the trajectory of his change. Well, he's already kind of on the roller coaster before he meets Finley, and he's just like confused. He knows something's wrong, and Finley comes along and it's just like something completely different, somebody completely different than he's used to, and somebody who doesn't put up with his crap. And I think that's for a person like Beckett, that's what he needs in his life. And he's had a lot of people that have been telling him what to do instead of asking him what he wants to do, type of thing. And Finley comes along and really puts that pressure on him to make that decision for himself and stand up for himself. So his character has a lot to that he owes to Finley, and Finley a lot that she owes to him for the changes that they go through. But it's a journey to stand up for yourself and to really care for yourself. Yeah,
for sure. Well, I really enjoyed it. I cried a lot. You guys were fantastic. Terrific, beautiful film. And thank you again. Rose, you were such a beautiful character. I loved your character, Finley. And she's very relatable to people who work in creative endeavors, of how loss or something tragic can affect your ability to perform. For Finley, she's going on this journey of discovery. What type of discovery would you say she's on?
I think she's really on a discovery to find herself and to step into who she truly is and kind of discover what she really wants out of life. You know, there are so many expectations that are put on her of what kind of violinist she needs to become, where she needs to go, and all of these different things. And I think it takes her going on a journey to really discover herself before she realizes what life's all about.
With Finley and Beckett make this beautiful yin and yang for each other, because on one hand you have Finley, who wears her emotions on the open and is very clear, in him who's charming and he's sweet, but he keeps everything pretty internal, and they help each other in enormous ways. How do they best serve each other in their journey?
I think Finley kind of teaches Beckett how to open up and also defend himself and stand up for himself when it comes to his father, and maybe some of those expectations we were talking about that, Finley ends up having to shed. And I think Jed, or Beckett, Jed's character, comes along and kind of teaches Finley to open up and to experience life and to really live life to the fullest.
One of my favorite scenes is when Finley goes to visit him on set, and so we're getting like a movie within a movie, and you're there to help him out. And so on days when you shoot a scene like that, is the preparation process as long as it would be, say, on a normal shooting day? Like, because you're just there to trying to chill on the set. So is your preparation that morning to shoot that scene as strenuous as it is for any other scene?
It's surprisingly a lot of work. It was quite a bit of work to make the film set look like a real film set, even though we were on a real film set. So, we did use a lot of the crew members. The real crew members were in a lot of the scenes in there, and it was so much fun, more than anything else. So yes, it was a little bit difficult to set everything up. Not quite as difficult, like you were saying, as maybe a normal scene, but so much fun, so worth it for the castle scenes and for being able to float around in these harnesses and everything. Totally worth it.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, Finley had just this wonderful ability, like a catalyst, to connect with people, to help them, like Beckett and the other characters, and bring out that beautiful thing. What do you think made them open to Finley more? Could they feel the sadness with her? Is it her ability to recognize certain emotions in people? What do you think that was best for her that helped all the people that were surrounding her?
I think it was her genuineness and her empathy for other people. She really did feel so much for Mrs. Sweeney. She really did feel so much for Beckett. And when she saw them struggling, she was a fixer and she had to fix it. And I think that's what really drew people to her, was because they could sense that authenticity and that desire to help, and that desire to be vulnerable with them and to share parts of her life that maybe hurt her, were challenging for her.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time. Beautiful film. I cried a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chandra.
Take care.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.